Hello everybody and welcome back to ROTFTCG. Today we're going to talk about something that's kind of hitting the Yu-Gi-Oh community quite seriously, or the Yu-Gi-Oh community is taking rather seriously, which is to say that we're going to be talking about the closure of Yu-Gi-Oh Pro. The servers have been, from as far as I'm aware, the servers have been shut down and people can't use it anymore. Everyone is basically saying that this is it. This is, the death knell of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's never going to be the same. It's never coming back from this in the same way. And I wanted to throw in my penny's worth because, quite frankly, I'm going to call it out right now. I think that's the biggest load of shit I've ever heard. Okay, just because one online service has closed down doesn't mean that the entire thing is never coming back. And then, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, the cracks are appearing and Konami can't do anything right. I mean, yeah, okay. I'll be honest though. I do admit that Konami can't do stuff right, and the way they've treated the game up till now. Anyway, I'll get onto that in a minute. So basically, Yu-Gi-Oh Pro is shut down, and Yu-Gi-Oh Pro is a service that, as far as I'm aware, it's not something I've actually used. As far as I'm aware, it's a free online service with all the cards are always updated, and you can play online against other people, construct a decks, etc., etc., etc. And Konami, I think they're making a game. I assume they're making some kind of game, which is why they've shut the service down, or maybe it's because they're not happy with the service being offered. I don't know. All I know is they are shutting it down, or have shut it down. And the problem I have with everyone sort of going on about how, oh, this is it, the game's over. Like, I would like to remind everybody that this is a trading card game, with like tins to collect and actual physical cards to play with that you have to pay money for. Artists need paying, game designers need paying, playtesters. Playtesters? Konami don't have playtesters. They probably don't really. That's why we have a forbidden and limited list. Fucking hell. But anyway. So basically, yeah. What we're sort of talking about here is that it's a trading card game. You have to pay money for it. There's that social element to it. Having Yu-Gi-Oh Pro, quite frankly, removes part of that. If you can just sit and construct any deck you want and just play it straight out, that's in my opinion part of the problem, the overarching problem with Yu-Gi-Oh. A lot of people are saying, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh's numbers are dwindling. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe there's a good reason for that. And then they say, well, Yu-Gi-Oh Pro is causing that. This is going to happen now because the numbers are going down. The game's over. The game's not over. The game is nowhere near over. The dwindling numbers may actually be something completely different, and I don't think, I think that Yu-Gi-Oh Pro is part of that problem actually. Which is to say that because it's a service for free where you just go and you have access to every card and it's updated straight away. I think that that's sort of one of the big issues with, say, like the meta game. And for me, the meta game is easily the worst part of Yu-Gi-Oh. The way it works, the way the archetypes are forced down on in people's throats. I mean, you either buy like a box's worth of boosters or go home. If you want to play serious meta Yu-Gi-Oh. The problem I have with it is archetyping and meta, and I think that those are two things, particularly meta, that Yu-Gi-Oh Pro's removal from Tinternet is actually going to help the game, if that makes sense. I'll explain it again. So basically, Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro helps fuel a meta that gets confusing for people who want to re-enter the game. Therefore, having it might make the meta a little bit more accessible because it won't move at such a fast pace. That's a theory, or like a sort of something that it might not change that much, but it could very well do. Again, now from my personal anecdotal experience, I've never used Yu-Gi-Oh Pro, and obviously and now I never will. But for me, it's never been hard to find a game. A lot of people on I'm getting this from watching the video that Slager put up about R.I.P. Yu-Gi-Oh, which despite him saying, oh, it's not clickbait, yes it fucking is. I'm sorry, Slager. I love your videos, but that seems to me to be a really sort of click this video because you follow YouTube Yu-Gi-Oh. Of course you're going to click on that video. Of course it's baiting people to click it. It's not the death of Yu-Gi-Oh. That's an exaggeration on extremis. Yeah. I can't see it being particularly bad. And for everyone that's sort of going on and going, oh, well, Konami are doing everything wrong. Like, Konami are not amazing. No, they fucked over Metal Gear Solid. They fucked over Silent Hill. Their computer games division is now just PES, plus like pachinko machines and fucking mobile games. They don't know what they're doing in that respect to an extent. But I don't know. So there are alternative options to Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, guys. And obviously, some people have said, well, it's not updating. You're going to have up to date card lists. Well, you can't have everything in life. If even if they're not very good services or they don't have up to date cards, and the simple answer to that is buy the cards and play with them. Like, actually buy the cards and put decks together. I feel that's something that's been lost in the game. And with something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, I think that's half the issue. I think that a lot of people know exactly what cards to get and just buy those cards off of like eBay or whatever. And I'm guilty of the same thing, not through Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro per se, but from that kind of buying cards off eBay, which is lowering booster sales, which I should imagine is one of the reasons Konami have shut the game down. I think another one is probably something to do with the fact that I think there's a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that Konami is making, like a online service. I don't know. I do think that Yu-Gi-Oh needs something like that. However, it's not to say that I don't think that Yu-Gi-Oh Pro is actually like a bad thing. I think that it should just be like they do with Pokemon, where like you buy a booster pack and in there's like a couple of little code thingies, which means you can get all the cards in this booster or whatever the fuck. Um, I think something like that, like a service like that, would be really really good. I think that's the way to go forward. I do think there should be online presence, and some people who have said, I mean, I live like 4 hours away from locals. I mean, you don't have to play serious Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't, not really, not in that respect. I mean, I've been to one locals tournament ever, and yeah, here I am. But I think what it will be is, there's stuff like Skype dueling. That there are quite a few Facebook pages dedicated to finding people who also play Yu-Gi-Oh who want to Skype duel you. So it's not out of the question. Or, and this is the part that I take like the most and go, yeah, do that, is organise your own tournament then. If there's no like locals, but there are people in your area who play, go and organise it. Or if is no one else in your area that plays, why are you playing? Like, I'm sure for the appreciation of the game, sure, but like, I don't know. To be fair, if you're playing it online, I suppose. But either way, like, before I ramble off too often and sort of completely go off topic, I'm going to kind of wrap it up by sort of saying I don't think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro getting shut down is by any means the end of the game. A lot of people are saying, the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, I'm assuming there's a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Game again. I've just kind of gone on and sort of thrown in my penny's worth about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not going to die at all. If there is one, then sure, pay money for it. Because again, it's a trading card game. Konami are in this to make money. No matter how much you want to play it out, and no matter how much you want to say, well, it should be about the fans. Yeah, it's going to be about the fans to make them more money. Like it or not, that's capitalism. I don't like capitalism, but I like Yu-Gi-Oh, so I will deal with that. That's how it works, folks. They're in this to make money. Or perhaps if it's Konami, they're here to just flush it down the toilet and then just go, I ain't having that now. It's not my problem. Yu-Gi-Oh's not dead, folks. Not by a long shot. It does need changes, but it's not dead. No way. And this one service getting shut down is no way a sign of that. I think it's a sign of better things to come. But that's just me. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao for now.